Take a deep breath and let every burden, every worry of this fleeting world fade away. For you are about to step into a realm where sorrow cannot reach you, where fear cannot touch you, where time cannot wound you, and where only peace surrounds you. You are entering the eternal sanctuary of the soul, Jannah, the true home prepared for you, where every moment is rest, every breath is joy, and every sight is filled with beauty beyond imagination. Jannah is the true home of mankind, the eternal dwelling where every longing of the human soul finds its completion, where every tear that was shed upon the earth is transformed into a pearl of joy, where every sorrow that once pierced the heart is dissolved into streams of everlasting delight, where every burden that pressed heavily upon the shoulders of mortals in the fleeting world is lifted forever by the mercy of the Almighty. For Jannah is not merely a place of gardens and rivers, but the final sanctuary of the soul, the house built by divine hands where the children of Adam are meant to return, the land that was always whispered within, the innermost conscience of every believer, a place remembered faintly in dreams and yearnings, as if the spirit once knew its fragrance before the veil of worldly life descended and now longs to find it again. In this eternal abode, there is no shadow of death, no decay of time, no rust of sorrow, no fading of beauty, no exhaustion of body, no weakening of spirit, but only the fullness of life in its purest form, a life that overflows with peace and serenity, where the heart does not tremble with fear, where the eyes do not moisten with grief, where the lips never speak in despair, where the body never collapses under fatigue, and where the soul never tastes separation from the mercy of its Creator. For Jannah is not just a place, it is the very definition of perfection, the truest expression of home, because every home on earth is temporary. Every home on earth carries cracks of imperfection. Every home on earth bears the signs of dust and fragility. But Jannah is the home untouched by impermanence, free of all defects, designed by Allah Himself, the King of majesty and honor, whose promise is true and whose word is never broken. And He has promised that the believers shall inherit gardens beneath which rivers flow, eternal dwellings, where every brick is of gold and silver, where the cement is of musk, where the pebbles are pearls and sapphires, where the soil is saffron, and where the air carries the fragrance of paradise that no earthly nose has ever inhaled. In that place the palaces rise higher than the imagination of kings, their walls glowing with light, their doors adorned with jewels, their balconies overlooking rivers that shimmer with the brilliance of crystal milk, honey, and wine that does not intoxicate but only purifies, and the shade of trees so vast that a rider may travel for 100 years without crossing the length of a single branch, and fruits hang within reach, descending at the mere desire of the believer, who stretches his hand and finds sweetness surpassing anything the world could ever offer. And in that land there are carpets spread out, couches lined with brocade, thrones raised high, cushions arranged in beauty, and companionship beyond compare. For the righteous shall sit facing one another, laughing in joy, recalling the fleeting trials of the world, as one recalls a passing storm after the sun has returned, saying to each other, "Do you remember when we feared and struggled, when we prayed in the night, when we sacrificed for the sake of Allah?" And their hearts will be overwhelmed with gratitude that the journey has ended and the promise fulfilled, and angels shall enter upon them from every gate, greeting them with peace, announcing, "This is your reward for what you patiently endured." And truly, what a home this will be, for the very word home implies safety, warmth, comfort, and belonging. Yet in the world, no home can truly be safe from loss. No home can escape the cracks of time. No home can silence the ache of the soul that knows it was not created for dust alone. But Jannah is the home that satisfies every dimension of the human being, body, mind, heart, and spirit, with joy that does not end, with love that does not fade, with light that does not dim, with companionship that does not betray, and with nearness to the Lord that does not withdraw. For the greatest treasure of paradise is not the rivers or the palaces or the maidens or the gardens, but the eternal vision of Allah, the Most High, when the veils are lifted and the believers gaze upon His majesty, and their joy at that moment will eclipse every delight they had tasted before, and they will say, "By Allah, nothing we were given compares to this." For indeed the essence of Jannah is not just reward, but reunion. Reunion with the Creator. Reunion with the true source of peace. Reunion with the one in whose presence the soul finally feels complete. And this is why every moment of struggle in the world, every tear shed in prayer, every act of patience, every moment of restraining the soul from sin, every charity given, every hardship endured, all of it will appear as nothing compared to a single glimpse of paradise. Because paradise is not measured by human scales. It is beyond all imagination. As the Prophet Muhammad said, "What no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, and what has never crossed the mind of man." And this is the home awaiting the believer, a home without eviction, a kingdom without end, a joy without grief, a life without death, a youth without aging, a health without sickness, a union without separation, and above all, a love without betrayal, the love of Allah encompassing His servants forever, so vast that it makes the entire world seem like a passing shadow, and so radiant that the soul can finally rest, whispering, "This is what I was searching for. This is what I longed for. This is my true home." And in this true home of mankind, Jannah, the delights are layered upon delights, not in the way of the world, where pleasure is always mingled with pain, where sweetness carries the bitterness of loss, where joy fades like a dream when the eyes open to harsh reality. But in paradise the sweetness deepens without end. The joy renews itself endlessly, every moment higher than the last, every experience unfolding into another more magnificent, until the soul is lost in an ocean of beauty and never wishes to emerge. And the rivers that flow are not stagnant streams, but living waters, rivers of milk that never sour, rivers of honey pure and clear, rivers of wine delicious to those who drink, yet free of intoxication and shame, rivers of water cool and refreshing beyond all description, each river gliding beneath gardens, whose trees stretch toward the heavens with majesty, their trunks of dazzling brilliance, their branches heavy with fruit that bends down in humility to the believer's hand, so that he only wills and the fruit is present, so that she only desires and it is offered. And these fruits are not like the fruits of the world, which rot and spoil, but fruits that carry eternal freshness, each bite revealing a new taste that no other bite can resemble, an endless variety, as if every desire of the tongue is met in perfect harmony. And the shades of paradise are deeper than the night sky, yet not dark, but cool and luminous. And beneath these shades the believers recline on, thrones and rows of companionship, no jealousy in their hearts, no enmity, no rivalry, but only pure love, pure brotherhood and sisterhood, their faces shining with light, their eyes reflecting eternal peace, their laughter like gentle music echoing through the gardens, and their garments woven of silk, green and gold, embroidered with threads finer than anything the world has ever known. And they wear bracelets of silver and crowns of radiant jewels, and their youth is eternal, their beauty, perfected their bodies, never weary, their strength never diminished, their hearts forever content. And in this home, the servants of paradise, radiant youths like scattered pearls, move gracefully, serving cups of crystal filled with drink from the fountains. And the believers take them without fear of hangover or sin, without the heaviness of the world. And they taste only purity, only bliss, only delight. And around them the sound of paradise resounds, birds with wings of gold singing melodies sweeter than, harps and flutes, breezes carrying fragrances of musk and amber that never tire the senses, and the voice of angels reciting words of peace, surrounding the people of paradise with comfort beyond measure. And in this land the spouses are pure, cleansed of all impurity, their beauty radiant beyond the imagination of mortals. The Hor Alain, with wide lovely eyes, pure as hidden pearls, created by Allah for those who believed and struggled in his path. And they are not like the fleeting beauties of the world, but companions of eternal fidelity, of unending affection, meeting their beloveds with smiles and words of love. And even more than these is the joy of reunion with the believing family, for the righteous will be gathered together with their loved ones, parents with children, spouses with spouses, brothers with sisters, friends with friends, all joined in eternal delight. And they shall remember their days upon the earth and marvel at how quickly it passed, how small their trials seem in comparison to the majesty of what they now enjoy. And they will say with one voice, all praise is for Allah, who fulfilled his promise to us and made us inherit the land, that we may dwell in paradise wherever we will. And as they rest upon these couches, gazing upon rivers and gardens, they will feel them nearness of Allah like a gentle embrace. And then the greatest moment will come, greater than every palace and river and fruit and song, when the veil is lifted and they behold the countenance of their Lord. And at that instant all of paradise will pale, all of paradise will shrink, because nothing compares to the radiance of the divine, and the believers will fall silent in awe, their hearts overwhelmed, their souls intoxicated with joy beyond comprehension. And they will know in that moment that this is why they were created. This is the home their souls had always longed for, the reunion they had always yearned to taste, and they will never again know distance, never again know separation, but will live forever under the gaze of the most merciful. And in that nearness, every other blessing takes its meaning. And the soul whispers again and again, "This is my true home. This is my Jannah. This is what I was always searching for." The feeling of paradise in this world comes like a gentle fragrance that suddenly enters the depths of the heart and reminds the soul that it is a traveler destined for a greater, eternal dwelling. It appears in those moments when a person bows down in sincere prayer and the tears flowing from the eyes wash away the burden of the chest. For in that moment the light of paradise descends upon the heart and whispers that the true home is where there will be no sorrow, no fear, and no separation. It is felt when the recitation of the Quran calms the soul, and every word settles in the chest like a beam of light, reminding us of the eternal joy of hearing the words of Allah and glorifying Him in paradise. It is sensed when a poor person smiles because of your kindness and generosity, for that smile becomes a reflection of the smiling faces of paradise. It shines when a parent's prayer wraps a child like a shield, and the heart feels a serenity that nothing else can give. That serenity is the fragrance of paradise. It awakens when a friend holds the hand of another with sincerity in the moment of grief, and the warmth that fills the heart is a glimpse of the eternal love and companionship that awaits in paradise. It pours down when cool raindrops fall upon the face, and a sudden freshness fills the soul, for it is an echo of the rivers and gardens of paradise, whose coolness will soothe forever. It sparkles when the laughter of a child reaches the ear and momentarily erases the deepest pains of the heart. That laughter is a reflection of the gatherings of paradise. It glows in the face of an elderly person whose eyes shine with patience, faith, and tranquility. For that glow is nothing but a glimpse of the eternal light that will illuminate every face in paradise. It whispers when a person shares the pain of others and afterwards feels an inner peace that cannot be explained. For this is the same peace that will overflow in paradise when all hearts are joined in eternal brotherhood and pure love. These small and often unnoticed moments in this world are in truth glimpses of paradise given by Allah as reminders of where real comfort lies. Sometimes this feeling comes after prayer when the heart feels light and the heavy chains that were weighing upon the soul seem to have broken. Sometimes it comes in supplication when one feels that Allah is truly listening. Sometimes it comes in the stillness of night when the world is silent and there is nothing. between the heart and its Lord, and the soul is wrapped in a silence and tranquility that no wealth can purchase. Sometimes it comes in the tender touch of a mother when her child rests peacefully in her arms. Sometimes in the prayer of the oppressed that pierces the heavens. Sometimes in the smile of the innocent. Sometimes in the gatherings of remembrance, where many hearts bow toward the same light and glorify the same Lord. And all these moments are nothing but fragments of paradise, scattered across this earthly journey. And if this world is not paradise itself, then surely it carries its fragrance, placed there, so that we never forget where we truly belong and where we are truly heading. These feelings are invitations to prepare, to strive, to long for that eternal home. And when the heart breaks under the weight of worldly grief, one remembers these fleeting moments and whispers to oneself, if such tiny glimpses of serenity in this temporary world are so beautiful, then what will the eternal peace of paradise be like if the fragrance here is so soothing? Then what will the fragrance of paradise be like if a single human smile can bring such light to the heart? Then what will it be like when every face in paradise shines with joy? If a verse of Allah's word can bring such healing, then what will it be like when the Lord himself speaks and says, "Today I am pleased with you"? And this thought alone lifts the soul. It makes the heart certain that it was never created for sorrow or despair. It was created for eternal joy, eternal love, and eternal nearness. It was created for paradise. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below, like the video, and subscribe to the channel so you can continue watching more peaceful and uplifting content like this.